Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today I want to talk about a small but very significant 2A win in the state of California. The city of Needles, which is a border city located both near Nevada and Arizona, has declared itself a sanctuary city for the Second Amendment. So we're going to talk about that today. This channel is proud to be sponsored by the Firearms Policy Coalition. Make sure you check that link in the description box, donate what you can, or become a member today and do your part to fight for our rights. Okay, so let me go ahead and break down what's happening real quick. I did watch the entire board meeting where people gave public comment. They had some amendments and they added some things to the proposal as well. So I think I have a better understanding of their overall motivation for wanting to become a sanctuary city for the Second Amendment altogether. There is a big freedom motivator here. A lot of these people seem to be very pro-freedom, which is fantastic. But there's also a big money factor to look at as well. And they mentioned this in their city council meeting. Now, is that a bad thing? No. Every city has to survive. Every city has to thrive. And the people that live there have to thrive as well. So they're thinking about their population, not just in terms of freedom, but in terms of prosperity as well. So I think that was pretty cool when I watched that. Now, Needles is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I mean that. They are literally stuck between a rock and a hard place. They are stuck because they are located in California, but just to the north they have Nevada, and just to the east they have Arizona. When I say just to the east, I mean within walking distance of Arizona. But a lot of the people that live in these two states are not willing to do business or interstate commerce with Needles because mostly they just don't want to disarm themselves. So you have people in Nevada, especially the rural areas, they have their concealed carry permits and they don't want to disarm themselves in order to come into Needles, and California doesn't have reciprocity with Nevada. Then you have Arizona. They're a constitutional carry state. You don't even need a permit if you're a resident in order to constitutionally conceal carry. And so you have these people that basically say, hell no, I would rather drive an extra 10 miles in the opposite direction than go do business in Needles, even though Needles would be a lot more convenient for them to get to and have exactly what they're looking for. So Needles is stuck, and they're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, so it's not like, there's anything much around them that could kind of fill the void from these two states. And so they see this and they understand why people are not coming over just by simply talking to their neighbors. And so they wanted to create a sanctuary city so that not only their own population could feel a little bit more safe, but at the same time, people from these other two states would be able to carry and do business still and be able to defend themselves while they do business in Needles. So hopefully bringing in a lot more commerce into their little city and possibly boosting everything. So I think that was a really smart idea. So you're giving your own people a little bit of freedom while at the same time you're standing up to the government in California and saying, look, LA, San Francisco, these places might all be blue and be pushing for gun control, but not everybody in California is. So you're kind of sending a message at the same time. Now, this has not been approved from what I understand yet by the sheriff. They have to take this over with the sheriff and say, hey, we don't want you to enforce these laws as they stand in the state of California. If the sheriff is not on board, forget about it, it's over. You can pass sanctuary laws all you want and say that the Second Amendment is safe here, but if the sheriff's not on board, then obviously there's going to be enforcement and it all crumbles and falls apart. So they have to get the sheriff, the local sheriff, to be on board with this so that people can travel from these states freely with, more than 10 rounds or a concealed carry permit from Nevada or just carrying in general, whatever they feel like they want to do in their sanctuary city. So he has to be on board. Also keep in mind that interstate, like the freeway systems and stuff that are patrolled by the California Highway Patrol, that might be over the jurisdiction of the city council. So that could be a place where you could get yourself into a little bit of trouble. Staying on local roads would probably be the way to go if this whole thing happens and the sheriff decides not to enforce a lot of these unconstitutional laws that California has. So now also what they want to do is they want to impose, or they want to talk to their legislator in California's government and try and ask for a 65-mile perimeter across border states so that people from different border states, Oregon, Nevada, and Arizona, and so forth, wouldn't have any fear of traveling within 65 miles of their states in order to do commerce with these border cities and stuff like that. So that's what they're going to do. That's another thing, at least, that they're asking to do. And they're also talking about reciprocity, you know, in getting some type of engagement for reciprocity between other states that have permitting systems different than Californians. Now, this is kind of a terrible thing because it's not terrible, you know, in those terms, but for Californians that are not able to get permits, having tons of other people come in that do have permits and you're still not able to carry is just bad for those people that are stuck in like LA County and so forth. Nevertheless, anything that you can do that is pro-Second Amendment in the state of California is obviously a big win, and this is going to be a big win as well. Let me go ahead and read you a quote, if you wouldn't mind. And this is going to be from one of the city council members, and I thought it was a great quote. So the city council member is Timothy Terrell. He said, "The city of Needles, California, recognizes the Second Amendment above what the state of California does, the right to keep and bear arms. We're holding that sacred. It's not, excuse me, it's not going to say break the law by any means. You'll still have to follow the law until the law changes. This is simply the first step in changing the laws in California." So again, you can see that there's a pro-freedom stance there, but again, I think a lot of it is motivated by money and the fact that they want to bring that interstate commerce back into Needles. So for all those people that were asking me to make a video, I hope this cleared things up. It's just one city. Go ahead and push your mayor. See if your mayor is interested in a proposal to make their city a sanctuary city. And if we can get a little bit of sanctuary all the way up for the Second Amendment, which is the way that it should be in the entire country, then the more the better. Let them know that these huge cities like LA and San Francisco do not control the entire state. So again, good on Needles for doing this one. It's a little win, but it's a significant win. So I hope that answers your questions there. Thank you again very much for watching. Wow, it is hot out here. Have a great day. Subscribe.